Do you think that school should be a factor in judging how someone works in the workplace? In my opinion, school doesn't really show how someone works or their ability to work. Now, take this into account. This is my example when we get our application paper from our employer. Usually it states, what is your highest level of education? Some people may be ashamed or embarrassed or intimidated that they do have to fill this out because they don't have the greatest level of education, but they really want this job. I feel that because of this, we should take into account other factors other than school, unless it is needed. So now we'll go into why school shouldn't be a factor. School doesn't really prepare students for work. Allison Green stated that people felt like their school didn't really teach practical connections to their workplace. For example, someone isn't going to use geometry in, let's say, mechanics or being a CNA because we don't need that. I feel like in the school, we should be learning how to fill out a W-2 or how to communicate with coworkers than math, science, English, unless you do need it. Also, a lot of people stated that topics at school aren't relevant to what they're doing in their job now. To go back to that, a lot of people don't use geometry or math or higher math in that saying because usually there's something else that does it for them and we don't need to learn that in school. So I think that schools should change their criteria and teach something that is more work involved so that children will be able to transition into work easier. Also, work experience should be taken more into account compared to education. I feel as if work experience is more important in my opinion because being book smart doesn't equal that you do know how to work. Also, Education Week conducted an online survey and 59% of adults stated that they couldn't connect their work to what they learned in school. So basically they learned most of what they did at work and not at school. Which is why I feel like if someone does have experience in the workplace, they should be taken more into account than someone that is more highly educated than them. Lastly, no one will care about your job more than you do. So what I mean by that is if you work hard and you want to do better for yourself, then I feel as if you will succeed in what you do. Also, there's other jobs for non-college bound people. If you just have a high school diploma, you can do a lot of things. Some of them are entrepreneurship, CNAs, mechanics, just there is a lot. So in my opinion, what we all should do is take into account other things than education when it comes to work or being able to work, because there are some people who are able to work but they just don't get the job because of what the paper says and not how they are themselves. Through this speech, I hope that you guys learned something and can take away something in why school shouldn't be a determining factor, because though some may need it, some don't need it, and it does affect someone's life because of this if they're not able to get the job, or there are other factors to why people don't go to school, like they can't afford it or they have someone else to support, so they don't have the time. So yeah, I hope you guys can take something into account from my speech, and I'm wishing all you guys the best in your future. It was nice to see all your guys' speeches, and yeah, I hope you all have a great future. Thank you.